boy oh boy, is this a interesting time or what to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, because I gotta say, I loved the most recent movie. I thought it was very, very good. I think that they did a lot of really awesome things, but one thing I have always said was, surely we can get some type of, like, maybe a movie, a TV show, or a game, right, about a very dark, newer story of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles called The Last Ronin. For those of you who don't know what that is, again, essentially, it is a Ninja Turtle who has watched all his brothers die. He watched Splinter basically die. He watched everyone he loved around him die, and essentially he decides to go after the person who did it, which is of course a family member of Shredder, while his Ninja Turtles brothers watch him over like Anakin Skywalker Force Ghost in the Ahsoka TV show. That Ninja Turtle would end up being revealed as Michelangelo, the nice, funny Ninja Turtle who seems like he's always on ketamine. Every time we basically see him, he essentially goes and becomes Batman in Zack Snyder's movies, in Zack Snyder's DCAU, and decides to basically destroy the Foot as we know it. Again, it's an awesome idea. It's a, like, MA-15 R-rated idea for sure. So the last thing I thought is that we would be getting anything of this, but it turns out last year it was announced we are getting a video game. They are turning it into a video game. I was like, alright, cool. Now I'm horny. And then, very recently, it was confirmed, now we are getting it into a live action movie, and now I've just exploded with garlic, mayonnaise, and aioli sauce all on my computer screen. Thank you, Nickelodeon, who has just done something I never thought they would do. Again, it's brought me more satisfaction than any Abala Danger video could ever do, and that's pretty goddamn hard. Anyway, it says an R-rated TMNT, The Last Ronin movie, is in the works. Tyler Burton Smith, Boy Kills World, and Child's Play is working on a script for a live-action adaptation of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin, the grim and gritty distant finale for the original IDW comics. Another report again, live-action R-rated TMNT, The Last Ronin movie in the works via The Hollywood Reporter. Again, apparently he's the former head of DC Films, which is pretty interesting because, let's be honest here, the most recent DC films, some of them have been like diarrhea, right? But then some of them have been, they've been pretty sexy. Like the Joker movie was really good. Of course, Man of Steel still tickles me in a fancy place. I actually, of course, do like that. Child's Play is another good movie, right? That is a remake of a very classic movie, which for some reason I liked as a kid. I don't know why. I've said this on the channel before, but my mum let me watch Child's Play as a kid, but wouldn't let me watch Will Smith with a dog trying to run away from vampires. Again, I don't know, go figure. But I love the original Child's Play. I like the sequels. I like the wacky sequels even, where he has a bride and births a kid with no penis or some shit that I don't think's a boy or a girl. I don't know. And then there was the Child's Play remake, which had Mark Hamill voice act Luke Skywalker, which I still thought was a pretty sexy and, like, very good recent new take on what Child's Play is. Again, I'm still kind of hoping for a sequel for that, but apparently it's not coming as they're making a movie for the new Chucky TV series, I believe. But again, that's a very good movie. Very dark. A lot of grit, a lot of, like, gore, a lot of bloody things are going on. And if he was able to do that and actually do a pretty good job at producing and coming up with new ideas for a decent remake, which you can't often say, I do have faith that he can pull off a Last Ronin TMNT movie. And even the DCAU was extremely dark, right? The thing is, a Last Ronin live action movie is actually really interesting in terms of, I low-key feel like how the Ninja Turtles should be presented could be very much in the same vein of like how Michael Bay had his Ninja Turtles. Again, it was very weird that Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles were these huge Transformer-like turtles. Probably wasn't the smartest idea for such a light and kind-hearted, kid-friendly movie. It was just a weird design choice. But low-key would kind of be a cool idea to have, you know, have the Ninja Turtle look like that. Again, I'm not saying it will be a sequel, but I'm also saying, wouldn't that be funny if this was somehow a sequel to the Michael Bay duo of movies? I don't know why, but I'd low-key kind of fuck with that. Like, if they wanted to get whoever played Michelangelo in that movie and get him back to do this, that would be kind of cool. They're not, of course, going to do that. Those movies, regarded by most people, suck. But in saying that, this is a funky idea, which I really, really like. We're going to see an R-rated Michelangelo with like a black bandana killing and beating the shit out of people in this futuristic city while his turtles pull a Obi-Wan Kenobi from the original Star Wars movies and be a Force ghost, right? That's going to be awesome, and I'm extremely excited to see how they do make this go. I also believe this is definitely one of the movies that needs a big budget. This is 100% a movie that needs a big budget. There are some movies that you're like, no, why is this movie 300 million, and how was it 300 million? Again, shout out Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, shout out the Marvels, stuff like that. It's like, how did those movies have a big budget and look so shit and were so shit? Most movies don't need a big budget, right? This movie does, I think. I think this movie has to have minimum of like a $100 million budget. It can't be just some small thing where Nickelodeon dump 50 to 60 million into it and say, we'll call it a day, because that's never going to work. This movie needs like 100 to 150 million dollars of a budget. You're going to need a very futuristic world that's gonna have to have a lot of CGI, I'm assuming, and you're of course gonna have a CGI Ninja Turtle with a bunch of CGI Force Ghost turtles and a CGI rat, probably, right? It's gonna need a big budget. The Michael Bay Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies, I believe, had a budget of like 100 to 200 million each, and they weren't even had futuristic CGI cities like this one's going to need to. The thing that scares me about this movie is it might have to have a budget that's 100 to 150 million, and it might only make like 250 million back. I don't know how popular a Last Ronin movie is going to be, because if we're being honest here, the comic book is known to Ninja Turtles fans such as myself and probably you. It's not necessarily known to anyone who doesn't follow Ninja Turtles. If you don't follow Ninja Turtles, you can go and watch the movie, right? Which people did, because you know what the Ninja Turtles are. And that's why people probably did watch the most recent one, which, mind you, only made, I believe, 200 million. You need this one to probably make over 300 to 400 to succeed, especially if the budget is like how I think it probably should be. That's going to be scary, because I think if they advertise it and all that stuff, sure, people will be interested in the idea, but it does scare me a little bit that this might not do, I think, like, as well as it probably should do in the box office. I think home media, and especially streaming, this seems to be a movie that, again, could make around 250 million in box office with a $150 million budget, but could go make hundreds of $1 million on like Netflix, right? This movie could be a movie that is top 10 on Netflix for quite a while. A 18 plus movie would do so well of like Ninja Turtles on there. Again, obviously it shouldn't just be exclusive to streaming. This has to be in cinemas, but I do think it's the type of movie that will do well in streaming, while also I think could be a very good critical success if they do make a good enough movie, which I believe they have the potential to be able to do. Definitely let me know what you guys think about a Last Ronin R18 plus Ninja Turtles movie down below. Do you guys think this is a good idea or a bad idea? I'd very much like to know. Don't forget to subscribe to my sports channel and my IRL/vlogging channels, which I will be linking in the description down below. But as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.